Hi everyone, welcome along to my studio today. We are in sunny Geraldton, Western Australia, and I'm going to do a little demo today on how I mix Kato and Premo, what the ratios are, and kind of how I cure them, what temperature. We all know that Kato clay and Premo clay take a different conditioning process. If you're not sure how to condition Kato, you can find a video on my YouTube channel of how to do that. And we all know that they cure at different temperatures. So I'll explain a little bit about how I do it at the end of the video. All right, so let's just get started. If I wanted to perhaps mix a nice orange color, and let's just say, for example, I have a yellow Kato clay in my studio, which is a little on the firm side. So what I would do, I would bring in some yellow Premo clay, which is nice and soft. And I have my firmer Kato. Ratios, this is probably more Premo to Kato. These are run through the same setting of the pasta machine. If I was going half and half, this would be it. But I know that this is fairly firmish, so I'm going to add a little bit more Premo. And look, there are no hard and fast rules here. It's just, I simply do it by feel. And I think the more you work with these clays, the more you will kind of get to know how you like your clay to feel for the processes you're working on. All right, so I don't need to condition these separately. I can put them together and condition them together. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of Premo Fuchsia to get this nice orange color. So if I was going to do them together, I would simply roll them all together on my workspace at the same time. And I would get it to a point where it was almost ready to go through the pasta machine. Or it is ready to go through the pasta machine. All right, my pasta machine is set on a number one being my thickest, and I'm going to roll through. Now I'm going to condition this the same as I would Kato. I'm going to drop my pasta machine down 1 or 2 settings. I'm not folding this, and I'm rolling it through. Again, let's drop it down a couple, don't fold, and roll through. Doesn't matter if you rotate your clay. Sometimes you can if you want to. I'm running it through again. The trick is I'm not folding it. I'm just running it through, and this is what I've got. So now I'm at the point where I can fold. I'm going to put my pasta machine back to a medium thin setting, and I'm going to continue to roll and fold on this setting. Now you'll notice when I fold my clay, I always kind of put one of the edges inside, so I never fold them exactly together. I always put one edge inside the other because it kind of conditions that little edge there. And I tend to rotate as I go, so I might put my fold on the roller the first time, then the next time I might put my fold on the side. So just get it to a point where your colors have all come together beautifully. Probably one more roll. That really wasn't that tricky at all. A couple more, but I won't do them now because you get the picture. So it's pretty much as simple as that. Now, if I had some really firm white Kato and I wanted to soften it, I could add some white Premo. Again, the same with any of your colors. If you've got a very firm Kato purple add the same amount of Premo purple and mix the two together. So you're kind of keeping like colors together. So let me just pull in a couple of examples I did here. Oh, I've lost my green, sorry. I'm just going to pull these ones in to show you. So that's pretty much the mixing process. And as I said to you, there are no hard and fast rules in regards to ratios. What I would suggest is you write them down. Try different ratios, write them down, and then you know what you've put in to get this color, for example. So that's it as far as ratios and conditioning the two colors. What about curing? Because we know that our two clays cure at different temperatures. All right, so I did a couple of small tests. These are my cured pieces and these are my raw pieces. And you can see from this one here, so I cured this one at 160 degrees, which is almost what I cure my Kato at, but I thought I'm just going to bump it up and see what happens. And look, it didn't burn, but it darkened, but it is so super strong and there's hardly any flex in this. That's what I love about it. And there's a few reasons, which I won't go into right now, but there's a few reasons you don't want super flex in your work. This one I cured at 150 and it has changed slightly, darkened slightly, but again, super strong. This one I cured at, I dropped it down to 130, but it's still really, really strong. So this one actually surprised me. I have never cured my Kato Premo mix this low before, but this was actually a really nice surprise. So you could do, if you wanted to, a few tests with your pieces, with your clay that you have at home. You may get different results to me because we're working with different ovens, etc. So you just need to play around, mix some colors, take some notes, record what you're doing so that you know next time how you've done it, because you know what, my memory is not that good these days. If I did this in 2 weeks time, I'd be like, okay, what color did I use to get that? So I always record everything. I think it's a really good practice to have in your studio. So again, if there are any questions that have arisen from this video, please drop a comment to me and I will answer you the best I can. So it's a pretty simple little thing today. All right, so thank you for watching me today, guys, and I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. That's all for now. Bye.